everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I am reading on today. But before we get started, I want to remind you go into your settings, click on the subscribe button. We are building a tribe over here. And while you're in your settings, make sure you hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload. And give me a thumbs up so I can fight with this algorithm. It is full on hand-to-hand combat between me and it. But I am winning, I'm winning a few. So I am so happy about that. But make sure you give me a thumbs up. All right, let's get into today's read. Well, of course, I almost did another read about Pat Tillman's, the Pat Tillman Award. And I might do a little separate video about that later, uh, about how the veterans are coming out to support Prince Harry. And it's a beautiful thing. But I ran into this little ditty that I'm going to do a read on, and I decided, I was going to move on from Pat Tillman. But like I say, I might do another video about it later, just a short one. But I ran into this in page 6. And it got the wheels to turning. And you know how it is when my wheels start turning. I really started thinking about things. And of course, Thomas Markle and that interview he did with Daily Mail and page 6 is owned by Murdoch, just like the New York Post, just like TMZ, just like TFAB, just like the Washington Journal, just like Fox News. They have their fingers in a whole lot of things over here. And that's why I was saying yesterday, they're trying to bring their smear campaign to our shores. But we are going to resist it all the way. Let me read a little bit of this and we will talk about it. And I'm going to give you my read on it. It says Meghan Markle's dad, Thomas, predicts Prince Harry's children, Prince Archie and Prince Lilibet, will regret missing out on their birthright. Thomas Markle has never met his grandchildren and never will. I added that part. But he's very sad about their upbringing. Meghan Markle's estranged father recently told Daily Mail that he feels that Prince Archie 5 and Princess Lilibet 3 have been denied the right to know their cousins in the royal family. Who do you think did that? It wasn't Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan wanted to stay and serve the Queen. William wanted them out. When Harry went to that summit, Sandringham, whatever it is, Sandringham, Ham, whatever. When he went to the summit, they already had everything drawn up. Harry thought he was going over there to negotiate, but William wanted him out, and then had the nerve to write a statement and sign his name to it saying that he wasn't bullied out when he actually was bullied out. And he said Meghan cried and cried and cried. So he can miss me with that one. Thomas Markle has never met they keep repeating he has never met his grandchildren. And I'm going to keep repeating he never will. I hope he never will. It says the 79-year-old added that Prince William and Kate Middleton, three children, Prince George 10, Princess Charlotte 9, and Prince Louis 6, look like fantastic children. I agree with that. Thomas called the familial relationship, as well as the chance to take part in things like the trooping of the color, his grandchildren's birthright. So he feels that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet birthright is to be a part of that family, to grow up and knowing their cousins. That's what he said. He noted that they're getting to the age where they will start asking questions, as all kids do. I find myself wondering how Archie and Lilibet will feel in a few years' time when they realize all the things that they have missed out on. Let's talk about some of the things that Lilibet and Archie has missed out on since Harry and Meghan left that family over there. Well, they missed out on their lives being taken because Charles dropped the dime on them. He didn't drop the dime on Harry and Meghan. He dropped it on Archie. So I guess Archie missed out on that. You know, Tyler Perry made him miss out on that because Charles's intention was to drop the dime on them while he pulled their security. And what does that mean? That means that he didn't care if someone came over there and killed them. And he was telling them where to go to do it. So they missed out on that. And they missed out on a lot of real bullying and being ridiculed. They missed out on that because Archie, when he was a baby, he was compared to a chimpanzee. And when Lily was born, they compared her name, said she should be named Georgina Farina. As a joke that they felt would be funny about someone who was murdered. So I think they're missing out on being bullied, being lied on, being scapegoated, being the Wells's children's punching bag, and being the tabloid fodder to sell newspapers. That's what they're missing out on. And he forgot to say what he was missing out on. He's missing out on cashing his checks. Because if he had any contact with those children, he would be cashing a check on the regular. But since he hadn't had any new information to provide, they only pull that rabbit out the hat once a year. He pulled that rabbit out of the hat for his 80th birthday. Yeah, so he forgot to add what he's missing out on. And also Lily and Archie is missing out on being fed to the wolves, to the tabloid media. Look how when Harry and Meghan used to um, post a picture on the children's birthday, and how they would act and tear those pictures apart, pick them apart, and made tabloid fodder out of it. So that's what they missing out on, and I can't see why um, Archie and Lily won't be able to understand that. But he feels like they're missing out on standing on the balcony, this trooping of the colors. That's what he says in this article. They're missing out on trooping of the color. They're standing on the balcony, being a part of that front facing family because they are a part of the family. I mean, you can't get the blood out of their veins. The same blood that runs through Lily and Archie is the same blood that ran through Henry VIII and runs through Louis and George and Charlotte. So they are part of that family, but they're just not the front facing part of that family. They're not playing their roles as the scapegoat, as the distraction, as the narrative to be able to be played out on the front pages of the British tabloids. That's the only thing. He was up there talking to their birthright. Well, they already got their birthright. Their birthright was to be known as Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. That's the only birthright that's actually written down. But one other thing that he forgot about was that they also have a birthright for being an American. They have the right to pursue their dreams. They have a right to climb as high as they want to climb. They have a right to the pursuit of happiness. They have a birthright. And as Americans, they can become the head of state. They can't do that over there on that island over there within that family because you have to do that coming through the birth canal. That's determined if if you one of the sperms that meet at the egg the quickest. That's what determines who's going to be their head of state. Not hard work, not determination, not just pure grit. None of that. It's all about coming out the birth canal for them. So Archie and Lily does have a birthright. And when Prince George becomes King George, he just might be meeting President Lilibet Mountbatten. No, it'll be Sussex. He might be meeting President Lilibet Diana Sussex or President Archie Harrison Sussex because they can rise to the top out of their hard work and determination. That's their birthright. That's the birthright that Meghan gave them. Harry gave them a birthright of being a prince and princess. Meghan gave them the birthright of being able to go as high as they choose to go, as high as their hard work and determination takes them. and they're not going to be scapegoated, bullied, used as fodder, and to be relegated to living in poverty. All the rest of those roles, they depend on the kindness of strangers. You know what movie that is from? I depend on the kindness of strangers. That's what they do. They all have to scramble for money. Look at how Harry was living. And can you imagine if Megan, Lilibet, and Archie was over there shining that light as bright as they shine and them doing everything they can to distinguish it? They would starve them to death. Harry was walking around there with holes in his shoes while William was living in a palace with three houses at the time. I think he got five now, but at the time he had three. And Harry, they had nothing. What do you think that he would have did for Harry's family? Charles made it very clear, I'm not going to pay for her. You think he was paid for Archie and Lily to go to Harvard or go to Yale or go to Eton? George is going to go to Eton, and I don't know where the probably St. Andrews. Charlotte will go to St. Andrews, and Louis will go to Eton. But you better believe if Archie was over there, he wouldn't be going to Eton. What birthright are they talking about? The birthright. What birthright did Margaret have? And they actually treated Margaret better than they did anybody else. You know, she had Elizabeth actually let her have some money, but they didn't want to give Harry anything. And then he gonna have a wife and two children. And God forbid if Archie and Lily turn out to be like their parents, high achievers and with dazzling personalities, they would be scapegoated, they would be bullied, they would be set up, they would be used, they would have been abused. That's the only birthright that they left behind. And I think I would swap the birthright that Lily and Archie has for the one just to stand on the balcony and have to suffer all the slings and arrows that will be coming their way if they were in that family. So he's saying that Harry and Meghan is going to have to be explaining to Archie and Lily. That's what Thomas Markle said. Well, I think Harry and Meghan has a pretty good comeback when Archie and Lily ask. And I'm sure they might ask. But I think they got a pretty good comeback because all they got to do is sit down at the computer and just go back to what all they were going through. And go back where the reason they don't see Thomas Markle to go back and review that. How he tried to stop how he participated with the ones who wanted to stop their wedding. So Archie wouldn't even be here. Lily wouldn't even be here if it had been up to Paw here, who feel like he needs to see the children. Why do you feel like you need to see children that you would participate to the point where they never even would be in this world. So I think, I'm pretty comfortable with Harry and Meghan with their comeback for the questions. When they show Archie the picture of the guy posting, a BBC employee posting a chimpanzee saying that the royal baby comes home from the hospital, referring to him. And when Harry tells Archie, you know, about what William did to him and his mother, the leaking, the lies, the setup, the scapegoating. And when he tells them tell about his grandfather, what he did, the leaking, the lies, the scapegoating, the using of Harry, his father, to make in trading stories in order for his whore to be accepted as queen. I think Harry and Meghan is on pretty good ground. And let's not forget them his grandfather dropping a dime on him, taking the security from his father, his mother, and him, and putting their lives in danger. And not even caring to the point where he wouldn't even accept Harry's phone calls. His desperate plea for help for him and his family. He would not even take his phone call after he did all this. Okay? So I think Archie and Lilibet will be all right. And I think they got a tremendous birthright. And I think, because let's be honest, if Archie and Lilibet turn out like their parents, they would be hated, they would be despised, they would be saying they too big for their boots. They would be attacked on the regular because of their achievements. But instead, they live in America where you are rewarded for great achievements. You are applauded for striving to be more than what your station might be in life. You are held up as an example of excellence when you work hard and achieve. But it is just the opposite in the royal family. When you are that kind of person, you are somebody to be destroyed. You are somebody to be driven to want to unalive yourself. You are somebody who has to be sabotaged. And in Diana's case, you are somebody who has to be taken care of and taken out. In Harry's case, too. In Meghan's case, in Archie's case, too, because I am in full belief that that's what it was all about. Because why would you take someone's security, leak to the tabloids where they are, and then refuse to take their calls of their pleas? Can you imagine how desperate Harry was, knowing that he would soon not have security for his family? He trapped on this island at this house with just unprotected. with a small baby. And Charles just crawled up in his bed and went to sleep and slept like a baby. So I think Archie and Lily is gonna be just fine. I think Harry and Meghan has a great comeback for any question that their children ask them. And as for not growing up with George and Charlotte and Louis, George and Charlotte and Louis are great kids now because the firm hadn't got to them. The firm hadn't decided the winners and the losers between them. The firm hadn't decided, hadn't started to make sure that George is elevated. And George, no matter what, is protected. And they use the other two as a distraction. They hadn't been separated yet. They still in their little cocoon of their family. But they're going to start, and Archie and Lily is going to be able to see that, and they're going to be all right with it. They're going to be all right with what their parents decided for them. Because at the end of the day, Megan said in the Oprah interview that she told Harry that they had to do this for Archie. Lily wasn't born at the time, but they had to do it for Archie. Why do you think she said that? Because she knew what they had in store for Archie. They didn't even want him to be a prince. They was gonna change the rules just for him. Birthright, birthright. Come on now. That's what Megan said in the Oprah interview, that they had to do it for him. So I think the birthright question will be handled in a way that Archie is going to feel the same way, well, and Lilibet is going to feel the same way that their parents feel, that their birthright is over on this side of the pond. Because on this side of the pond, hard work and determination gets you to the top, and you are applauded for it. You're not punished for it. So, Thomas Markle, I'm censoring myself. You can just shut the up and understand that Harry and Meghan got this. They don't need your help. And I am just so glad that I am just so glad that at least they realize that you don't have any kind of new information. They used to drag you out every couple of months or 2, 3 months. Now it's once a year. Maybe it'll get to the point where it's every 5 years. Well, you won't be around because you are, like my grandmother used to say, his wagon is dragging low. So, so yeah, I think Lily and Archie is gonna be just fine. You don't have to worry about them. If they never get to wave at the few people that come out to Trooping of the Colors and be able to hang out with his cousin, their cousins, because we know the danger that ensues by being a part of that family if you are exceptional, if you have any excellence about you. You are, well, they attempt to destroy you. So I think they'll be all right. All right. That's my read for today about Lily M's birthright. They got a good birthright. And I'll see you later. Bye.